This is going to be your weekly chakra energy check-in. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you. We're going to take a look at the energies you may be experiencing throughout your chakras. So in the comments, let me know your word of the day, word of the week, whatever is your vibe. Now, as I'm filming this, it is Wednesday morning. The sun is shining. It does feel a lot lighter this week than it did last week. Now, we just had the new moon in Virgo. I want to remind everybody that this is a time where we need to sort of gather ourselves. I keep hearing amassing information. You know, Virgos are all about analysis, yes, but we don't have to know the who, what, when, where, why, and how. We just have to gather the information daily, you know, step by step, day by day, and see where it takes us. Nothing has to be decided right now. So if you're feeling pressure or you're pressuring yourself to get something done, I would just say take methodical steps, you know, take it in stride. So let's take a look at some overall themes and messages for us. And this says, on your own. It's time to take some alone time or be single to get a new perspective. It's kind of interesting because this is Hermit energy, which is Virgo energy. I understand that. I mean, look, it's always good to take a break. Sometimes we need a timeout. I will say this though, don't let that be a, what's the word I want to use? Don't let that necessarily be an excuse to be single, you know, or to stay single. You know, I hear a lot of people talk about, you know, I don't want to date. I don't want to put myself out there. It's all about taking the necessary breaks, but never stopping to put yourself out there. I am a huge believer in that. And that's not because there's a necessity for people to be in relationships. It's not about you needing a partner. It's never about that. It's that we get better when we put ourselves out there and get the experience. You know, for every reason why not to do something, I can give you a reason why you should. And vice versa, of course. We can go back and forth with those things. But this could very well be just take some time for yourself this month or this week and, you know, be in that hermit energy. Okay, gather your thoughts, amass the information, but don't stop putting yourself out there. At a certain point, you've got to find clarity and make a move. Now let's take another card to see what else we need to know here. And we have believe. May the sea deepen your faith. I love that. We have that Pisces full moon coming up on the 17th or 18th, depending on where you live in the world. Pisces is the depths of the ocean, right? So I want you to believe. That's the key. You know, again, you can take your time out. At the same time, you got to believe that everything's going to work out the way that it's supposed to. You've got to believe that you can have all the things that you want. And how do you get those things? By putting yourself out there and going through the experiences themselves. You would never tell a child to stop putting themselves out there or stop trying when it comes to studying for a test or an assignment. You know, we learn by doing, trial and error, knowing what works, knowing what doesn't work, getting better at our craft, you know, getting a thicker skin. So let's see what else we need to know here. And we have here foundation. So birth, cycles, and intuition. And look at that. It's almost like we have the same kind of dog energy or wolf energy here. Beautiful. Here's the thing about cycles. It kind of reminds me of like the dating cycle or like general cycles. You're going to have good and then you're going to have not so good. You're always going to have these moments where you've got to reflect, take some time out, but then you got to put yourself back out there because that's what birthing a whole new cycle is. I mean, not to be all cheesy, but the beginning is the end is the beginning, right? Whatever way you want to look at it, it's like a snake, you know, it's round and around and around. We're always going to have new beginnings. We're always going to have endings. So it's part of life. Let's take a look at the chakras themselves. We're going to see what energies you may be experiencing. So let's start out with the root chakra. And this is our Mars energy, our foundation. Speaking of foundation, so maybe the root chakra is important right now. Let's see. Yeah, Ten of Swords. It's almost like, sorry, that was a heavy sigh. It's almost like you've taken a hit to your personal power because this card is yellow, which is the sacral chakra, right? Your foundation has to shift. You know, you couldn't have any more swords in your back here. And it's basically saying you got to let something end so you can have something new. And what else do we need to know? Things will unfold. Major opportunities. The only thing I'm not a fan of on this card that I do want to clarify is that it says wait. Things will unfold. I always ignore the wait because waiting will do nothing for you. How many of you have ever waited for something and realized that you're just waiting? Nothing has changed. Nothing changes if nothing changes, right? So this is saying you have a major opportunity. Be bold. Let the cycle end. Let's see what else we need to know here. Winter. Winter is coming. It's like Game of Thrones reference here. The crone is actually about wisdom, if you really think about it. There's the maiden, the mother, and the crone. And the crone would be like the sort of grandmother energy. The wisdom. You have wisdom and knowledge. This also says, you know, within the next 9 to 12 months, or maybe even the winter time, depending on where you live in the world, obviously. But winter is all about death and rebirth, which is kind of interesting, right? That's what we were just talking about. Now, let's see what else we need to know here. Let's look at Venus, the sacral chakra, our self-worth, self-value, and self-respect, how we love, how we spend money, aesthetics. Let's see, the Hermit. There's that Virgo energy. Searching your soul. So there you go, time on your own, a little bit of Hermit energy. And again, another yellow card, which is the solar plexus, working on your personal power, amassing that information. Let's see, what else do we need to know here? Yeah, harvest. You know, the fall time, you know, Virgo season really takes us into fall harvest, you know. You will harvest. It's just going to take some time, but it also has an energy here of something sudden or unexpected and ripping off the Band-Aid. And that kind of feels to me like the eclipse energy coming on the 17th, 18th. Like I said, depending on where you live in the world, it's a partial lunar eclipse. We also have a solar eclipse on October 2nd. So we're going to be getting into quite an interesting time with the eclipse season. And there's the microphone. News. Oh, I have chills. I don't know if you can even like see that I have chills. Like I have absolute goosebumps right now. Expression. By the way, at the bottom of the deck, I couldn't help it. If you know, you know. If you followed me enough, the bedroom card. Could be some spicy energy there. The microphone. News. Expression. Making known. Speaking truth. Being heard. Remember what I was saying, that you can't use the excuse of, you know, Hermit energy for too long. Like at a certain point, you've got to come out of that. Maybe you have to speak up. Maybe you've got to address something after amassing the information. That could very well be. It could also be that somebody really wants to have a conversation with you. Let's take a look at the solar plexus, right? The personal power. Things are shifting. The Wheel of Fortune, growth, expansion, and good luck. I like that. Jupiter energy. The Archer, it's telling you to take aim, implement a strategy. What is your target? What are your goals, or what are your intentions? Well, there's the bedroom card. There you go. Contentment. It also says call it a day. I don't mind that either. Calling it a day. I was saying earlier, like, you know, letting the cycle end, letting something end. Let's see what is going on in the heart chakra. Stability. You're looking for stability. And I think that is the frustration for any of you who are dealing with some dating issues right now, or you're struggling with the dating apps. These are things that I can help you with. I'm going to be making more content about dating situations, so you can stay tuned for that. But I can definitely help you navigate the dating websites or your profile. I do help people with their profiles. I can help you choose pictures, tell you what to look for, how to navigate. I definitely have a lot of experience myself, but you're looking for stability in your heart space right now. Let's see. There's the Sun, yes card. You know, you're looking for a purpose. You're also looking to let go of some ego. And ego is not about being egotistical. It's about fear. you know, the ballet shoes. You've had to have a lot of stamina. And, you know, I keep using the expression like weather the storm. It's been coming up a lot for me lately. You've got to weather the storm, even when times are tough. You cannot just go into hermit mode and think that everything's going to go away. You've got to address the things that need to be addressed. And like I said, take a breather, take a time out, take a break from the dating apps, whatever it is, or the relationship. But you've always got to put yourself back out there. Let's take a look at the throat chakra. Let's look at our communication. Someone's afraid of it. Worry and anxiety. That was my point earlier about the microphone. Let's see what else we need to know here. Yes, the time has come. I think someone's very anxious about that. It also says fall, full moon. Very close. We're very close to the fall equinox here on this side of the world. Let's see. Tools. You have all the tools. You just can't stress about it. Everything's going to be okay. Let's take a look at the third eye, your intuition. Knight of Wands. Your intuition right now is a bit hot and cold. Now, I mean, look, you could have some passion in the pants. I mean, you could definitely, or in your third eye, you know, whatever you want to call it. I would just say that this is all about being motivated, but there is hot and cold energy. It can ride in quickly and leave just as fast. For example, some of you may not be sure about the difference between your intuition and your anxiety. You don't know what to trust, who to trust. And there's the anchor again. You know, the anchor is about stability. I just said that earlier. We're striving for stability, but you're not sure. And the problem is that when we're not clear or we're sitting on the fence, how can the universe deliver what you need? Well, maybe not what you need is the right word. Want. The universe gives us what we need, not what we want. So forgive me. I would just say, if you're not clear, how can the universe deliver? Otherwise, it's going to shake you up and give you what you need in order to learn the lesson. Convertible, it's telling you to be open. Many options, free will, possibilities. Anything is possible. Freedom, enjoyment. Whenever I see like the top down there, I think, look, you got to be open. You got to let your hair blow in the breeze or in the wind as you're driving. You got to let it be an adventure. Let's take a look at the crown chakra, the downloads. What do we need to know about that? And the Princess of Swords, interesting. Logical and decisive. I have a feeling, I'm sorry, I'm laughing to myself because it's like the soundtrack is like playing in my head. I always feel like somebody's watching me. I kind of feel like you might be feeling an energy around you that's watching you. You know, where you're under pressure a little bit to do something, or it's testing you. A lot of people are being tested right now. I don't know if you're feeling tested, but I am. Many people are, you know. People might be popping up from your past, or there could be, you know, things that are happening over and over and over again, and you're wondering why, you know. And the Emperor, yeah, you got to make a power move. Got to make a power move. You got to decide on that decision. But you're uncertain. By the way, 7-7, you could be seeing, but you're uncertain. That's why the energy isn't clear. You know, I'm going to make a weird observation going from the top down here versus the bottoms up. Usually I would go from the root all the way up, which is what we've been doing, but I want to just make a point about from the top down. If you're indecisive, you know, if you're not sure what to do with the information that's coming from your crown chakra, and you're hot and cold and worried about it, and you're striving for the stability here, you've got to let things shift. You've got to amass the information, and you've got to let the cycle end. You know? I could turn it around the other way. You've got to let something end. You got to search your soul. You got to let things shift. You got to go towards your stability. You can't worry about the stability. You got to stay motivated, and you got to be decisive. It all depends on how you're looking at it, right? So let's take some final messages here. Before I do that, I always want to thank you for your kindness and support with my videos. I would really appreciate a like, a comment, subscribe. It really helps me with the algorithm. It helps people find my page and watch my videos. Thank you so much for those of you that help me in this journey. Let's take a look at some final messages for you here. Energy rising, vitality, confidence, power, and look at that, decisiveness. You can't even make that up. We were just talking about that. Be the mountain. Slow and steady, foundations, and patience. I always say trust the process. I always tell you take the methodical steps. You don't have to do anything overnight, you know. You've just got to basically take it day by day and step by step, and have to get out of this instant gratification kind of energy. Well, I really appreciate you watching. Thank you very much, and I wish you an amazing day.